Virginia lawmakers spent Sunday working out details and passing final pieces of legislation that will go to Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's desk to be signed into law. Amongst them, a bill that will give localities throughout Virginia the authority to remove Confederate monuments and statues. The bill is one of many passed by the Democrat-controlled state legislature that are designed for the current Virginia government to distance itself from the failed Confederacy government of the late 1800s. The Confederate monuments have long been an issue of debate in black communities throughout the South, where many see them as shrines to evil men that waged war against the United States in order to preserve the practice of enslaving their ancestors.
If you want to celebrate your heritage, the Confederacy, put these statues in a museum, and you could go there as much as you want and celebrate them. This statue is just like my rapist being paraded around in my face on a daily basis. So that's what it is to me.
In fact, many of the monuments were erected years after the Civil War ended, with the Union defeating the South. The monuments that were erected during Jim Crow, many argue, were erected to intimidate and instill fear amongst an already mistreated population. Fast forward to November 28th of 2016, when Charlottesville City Council voted 7-2 to remove a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee in a downtown park. Some supporters of the statues responded with a lawsuit to stop the removal, while more extreme supporters of the statue responded with violence and murder on August 12th of 2017 at the Unite the Right rally, which resulted in the death of anti-racist protester Heather Heyer and multiple assaults on minorities and anti-racist protesters at the hands of violent alt-right neo-Nazis and white supremacists that gathered that day to protest the removal of the statue. The Unite the Right rally also led to the deaths of 2 Virginia state troopers that were patrolling and monitoring that day of hell and chaos from the skies in a Virginia State Police helicopter. Ultimately, a judge ruled that Charlottesville could not remove the statue, citing a state law that prohibits the removal of war monuments. This new bill, if signed by Governor Northam, will make that old law null and void and allow places like Charlottesville to move forward with the removal of the Lee statue and the statue dedicated to Stonewall Jackson as well, if they so choose to do so. Now, the new bill does require that a locality hold a public hearing before voting to remove or alter a monument. And if they choose to remove it, they have to offer it to a museum, historical society, or government or military battlefield. However, the locality's governing body still has the final say of the statue's disposition. In the 2018 and 2019 General Assembly sessions, similar bills were introduced in the Virginia House and the Senate, but the then Republican-controlled legislature defeated the bills. But this year, Democrats have a majority in both chambers and vowed to pass laws that make black Virginians feel inclusive, and they delivered on that promise this session. Along with the Monuments Bill, other similar bills include removing old racist laws from the Virginia Code that were technically still on the books, removing Lee Jackson Day as a state holiday, and passing legislation that provides funding and protections for historic African American cemeteries. All are bills that Governor Northam has said he will sign into law. The Democrat-controlled General Assembly also passed the South's strictest gun laws this session, limiting Virginia residents to purchasing only 1 handgun a month, making background checks mandatory on all gun sales, both commercial and private, as well as a rigorous red flag law, all of which were vehemently opposed by the state Republican lawmakers. Breaking Through will continue to monitor Virginia's Confederate monuments and statues and their fate in different localities throughout Virginia and update our viewers if and when different localities begin to remove or alter them. In the Breaking Through newsroom, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.